Hey, this your boy Rob Fishkin, man. You already know I'm tapped in with Sticky TV. If you ain't plugged in, you need to get plugged in. Stop playing.
Whole nine, everything from here to Snug Harbor all the way to Chickasaw Terrace.
Oh yeah,
what
most
it
definitely. Most definitely, man. I see you been busy, man. You been working, man.
Man, rejuvenated creativity is the best thing I can say as far as describing it, man.
Most
You know,
definitely.
you see productivity outside and you kind of get inspired by the others around you. You know, they always say, you surround yourself with people that make you want to be better. If you don't, then you just pretty much stagnated and shit. You know?
Most definitely, man. Man, let us know about the creative process behind Tango and Cash.
Oh, man, so shit. I ain't even trying to throw my nigga under the bus, but that song was supposed to come out a while ago, right? But, you know, it's like two ships crossing in the night. It's hard to catch up with two people that's on two different spectrums.
Right.
So once I started gearing up for the Essentials Volume 2, which is the follow-up to a tape I did back in February, TJ was like, man, what's going on? You trying to leave me out of the project on purpose?
Right.
And I'm like, never that. But because we talked so much, goddamn, I sent him that beat like 6 months ago. So it kind of just was just marinating. And then you know how niggas is, they get new phones and shit. You don't have none of that information no more. So once he started seeing me back up in the studio again consistently, he was like, pull up on me with the beat that you got.
Most definitely.
So outside of that, man, we cooked that shit up in the night with Nard over there at Blue Magic.
Oh yeah. Shout out Blue Magic, man.
Most definitely. That's where all my recording and shit go down at though. But yeah, man, we cooked that shit up in the night and it ride harder than we both either expected. And like TJ was saying not too long ago, Nard tweaked the fuck out that motherfucking beat. Right. Because the way that it came and the way that he, you know, did his little mixing and shit, the man, a legend.
Top notch.
For real.
For sure, man. For sure. Man, let us know about this single, Metal Leaf Petals, man.
Metal Leaf Pedal is pretty much one of those. For one, I wanted to make sure that the beat was as minimal as possible because, for one, the city as a whole, us being from the South, there's a lot of connotations that Mobile rappers or just niggas from the South don't really have no lyrical prowess. You get what I'm saying? You know, if we ain't making no drill, slide music, trap music, shit like that, goddamn, it normally just go over, you know, the radar a lot of people. But at the same time, you gotta kind of just break it down to the basics and just give them for bars for what it is.
For sure.
It's really, when you think about it, it started off Neil deGrasse, Mike Tyson. That's a combination between Neil deGrasse Tyson and Mike Tyson, a scientist and a boxer. And if you follow the song, it's literally like a conversation between this scientist and the boxer kind of merging into one person. Right. It starts off with me speaking real eloquently. And then the last line is like, I'll knock you the fuck out. Legitimately. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of little quick little Easter eggs, like the movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. If you build it, it'll come, where the nigga was in the baseball field.
Well, definitely.
Starting off saying, knowing if I build it, it will come, Kevin Costner on the run. Dancing with the Wolves when the moon is full, that's another Kevin Costner film. Like, so you just, it's, if you hip on a lot of the shit that go on in the world, man, and then even if you don't, it'll make you go research it, but strictly enough, it's proven that niggas from the city really got some shit to say on some Andre. The South got something to say.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. What would you feel like has been the biggest turning point in your career?
A few years back, I had an opportunity to get my music on the Benny the Butcher mixtape called Cooking with Benny Volume 2. It was a song called Game of Death from my Baba Yaga EP. And the song was pretty much side-by-side comparison of Bruce Lee's Game of Death when you're climbing up the towers and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was at the top of the movie. And they fought at the end. But Baba Yaga, the whole album was pretty much based on John Wick. So it was more me able to be a fan of all of those type of films
Right.
and being able to write it in the sense of this is me and how I look at my rap career.
For sure.
Yeah, but they got a lot of decent looks, man. Of course, you know, you can keep striking when the iron hot, but being able to have that man reach out to me directly and say, hey man, this what I want you on. You know, I'll be honored to have you. It was something, you know, worth to talk about, but you know, how that shit go.
For sure, for sure. Do you feel like it was any added pressure on your upbringing, being that you are Dogface's son?
Dog man.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yes and no, right? Because I got an older brother on the strength, and that man was, you know, the second coming of T.O., right? And with that, you know how they always say, you know, you could be yourself around your daddy people, and then you gotta kind of be one foot in, one foot out with your mama people because they got certain expectations of you on that side.
Right.
My pops, being a nigga that was legitimately outside with the clientele that he had and shit, you know, yeah, you kind of don't want to sully a nigga name because he done made a name for himself, and if he kind of give you the cosign or give you his blessing to run with somebody who trying to mold you into an artist or mold you into a different type of person for the better, you don't want to, you know, put no salt on a nigga name just by doing no stupid shit. So yeah, it is pressure, but at the same time, the liberty that he give you, he knowing as a man or as a young man you gonna fuck up.
Right.
It's just depending on the degree of fuck up that you're doing. Is it something that you could have simply fixed yourself? Right. You know, it's levels to how you can fuck up your life, honestly. But yeah, man, it's yes and no. Me and him ain't never had no falling out. Matter of fact, that man ain't never put his hands on me because I ain't never gave him reason to. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta know how to act with people. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think that's all he was trying to instill, and that's why we still here above ground now.
Most definitely. Which would you rather perform at, Coachella or Rolling Loud?
Coachella has got more history. Rolling Loud is right now, in the sense of relevancy. I would say Coachella because that's kind of like, you got to think about all of the artists who perform there. We ain't even talking about just hip hop artists. Right. We talking about rock bands. We talking about Jimi Hendrix. We talking about Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, DMX. You see what I'm saying? You ever seen DMX concert at Coachella where it looked like pretty much
a sea of people? Yeah. That was crazy. That was like on some Michael Jackson type shit.
Hell yeah. I forgot this shit got a little wobble on it, but we cool. But yeah. Yeah, man, Coachella for the strength of
the history.
You know, like
for sure.
Yeah. But you gotta think about it. To do Coachella, you gotta do some stupid numbers. Super Bowl type shit, because you know that you don't get paid for the Super Bowl. But for you to be invited to come to the Super Bowl, you either have to have
that status. But not even the status. It has to.
Yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. They ain't never been. What's the least famous name you done seen perform at the Super Bowl? Like the least famous. It's hard to try to pick out because everybody got their A1. I
kind of have to say The Weeknd. The only reason I say The Weeknd is because
he's still
in order, like everybody else that has done the Super Bowl halftime show, they've been in music way longer. He's kind of like the shortest, the one to do it kind of the quickest. Because even Prince, it took him almost 40 years.
I think Prince turned it down a couple times too, and we just didn't know it.
Probably did, but as far as
I respect that, because The Weeknd is one of those artists that, you know, giving this credit, it's been about 2012, 2013. So it's been about 12 years where he been putting in a lot of work. But when you compare it to everybody else who on that stage that's doing it, like Beyonce done been up there twice. You got your Dr. Dre's, you got your Michael Jacksons and shit.
Eminem's.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I feel you. I feel you.
For sure. Well, What would you say? You're a night owl or a morning person?
I'm a night owl because mornings don't belong to nobody, really. And what I mean by that is you get up every morning after you go through your morning routine, you dedicating the first half of the day to other people so you can self-sustain. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's a 9 to 5 or if you're going out handling your business, doing what you got to do to be able to recoup your maintain a living. So you don't own that first half of the day. You belong to other people to be able to keep your nighttime working. You get me? Whether it's a real clock that you punch in or it's just like, you know what, I'm finna turn it in right now and it's 8 o'clock or some shit like that.
Right.
You legitimately get to be able to work, do your own shit. You feel me? Like, if I'm in the crib and I'm my whole day done, that's the first half of the day, then that's where rapping me come out. You feel what I'm saying? Rapping me is the one who's sitting back in front of the MacBook, listening to beats, writing, making sure, you know, coming up with this, that, and the third. So
For sure.
it's like a tale of two cities, but more of a night person because I'm more productive with the things I want to do with being creative at night.
Okay. Most definitely, most definitely. Dream car.
I want a Grand National though. Like,
You know something.
I want a Grand National. Like, I mistakenly being around cars, you know how that shit be. It was a dude came in with a Grand National, and in my mind, anybody who see cars, you automatically think from a distance, that's a Monte Carlo. So, nigga bring the Monte Carlo in, my bad, Grand National. I compliment him, calling it a Monte Carlo. Nigga said, don't disrespect my car ever again, son. You need to know what you're looking at. He wasn't disrespected. He was a young nigga trying to, you know, give props. But he was like, that's a Grand National. And that man schooled me on how limited they were. They only came in black. You know, it's pretty much like the most souped up Regal you'll ever come across. And I'm like, yeah.
Legendary.
Legendary. Like, man, if I come across one of them, man, I probably fuck them tires up on the first go run and then kind of just treat it like a weekend car. But yeah, that motherfucking Grand National though, bro. Like, I'm a simple nigga. I ain't gotta buy no fucking Ferrari, bro. You gotta think about all the cars I grew up around seeing. These GTOs, these motherfucking Chevelles and Caprices and shit. You know, man, give me fucking
Broham.
Give me, man, motherfucking deuce and a quarter or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Give me $20,000 and a decent body. It's over with.
Most definitely. Do you feel like you get the support you deserve in your city?
That's a wild question. Yes. And then no, and then the only reason why I say that is because everybody is the hero to their own story to a certain extent, right? You're gonna have certain people who just have a very unbiased opinion who appreciate the love of the game, right? It's like being a fan of a favorite team or just being a fan of the sport, period.
Right.
You see, how I see it is the people who do support me respect the hip hop culture in the city as a whole, right? They more than just support me, they support other artists. Even if they don't, if I don't rub shoulders with them artists, they support the other artists and there's a non-biased respect to it.
Right.
No, because you gotta think about it. Let's ratio the difference of people who rapping and the people who not, right? Sometimes local rappers are not necessarily not supporting you because they don't fuck with you. It's that they got so much of their own clientele that they trying to maintain and keep in their own self that they trying to improve. So I had to mature in myself enough to not take that shit as a slight. Because if we all trying to run the same race, I'm not finna slow my car down just to see what's going on with you.
Right.
But at the same time, I respect the race being ran or driven, you feel me? So that's gonna be a mixed bag of a question and an answer. But the clearest way I can say is I respect the support that come from the people who respect the craft, and the ones who, you know, probably just off in the distance. I don't know. I don't really be paying no attention to it. I just try to, you know, look one way.
For sure. Tunnel vision.
Exactly. It just it is what it is. But I don't have no dissertations from it. You know, it's just you playing for your team. You got your brand. You got your franchise. You know, self-maintenance come from working on yourself and not trying to figure out what's going on across the street. So you can't do nothing but respect it.
Oh, definitely. You feel like mental health is important in the black community?
Most definitely, for sure, because we already a stigma as a whole in society when it comes to us being black and everything that's held against us. And if we don't understand self-worth and how we supposed to be able to improve others around us, that mental health is real, because you got to think about the statistics of what we do to each other. You got to think about the origin of where that stuff stems from. What make a nigga want to come outside and slide on the nigga? Because there got to be something that hindered you from being able to be open about your feelings, and the only way that you can reciprocate that energy is by, you know, causing act of violence. You see, yeah, and I ain't even no therapist. You know, if you can't talk to nobody, you're gonna have to learn how to talk to yourself. And that ain't even no sense of, you know, trying to sound like you got some schizophrenia or nothing. But
that shit real.
You know, they always say, man, people be putting these posts up and these memes and shit, and they don't ever really have nothing. They don't know what it means to stand on it. Like, sometimes the realest consultant is yourself. Just because you consulting with yourself don't mean that you agreeing with your actions. But remember what I said earlier about the mistakes that you make. The mistakes that you make is the other person that's literally knowing what loss is like. So if you can't sit back and assess your past transgressions, observance or transgressions of the law, like they say in 48 Laws of Power, then, you know, you shot as an individual. Like, you ain't shit else. It's so many words I can say to that, but yeah, most definitely, mental health is essential, no pun intended, to a black man, an individual, regardless. But, you know, us nowadays, man, we don't talk that much. We don't. You know, that's because you gotta think about the way we came up in school, right? A certain dominance, one way or the other, because you're trying to make a name for yourself, so you don't be put into a social circle that's not able to kind of be free amongst yourself and be who you are.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then you don't want to be closed in and calloused. And I'm a poster child for that, for saying that. So anybody who probably listens to this shit will say, man, this nigga's a fucking hypocrite. But at the same time, I'm probably the most calmest individuals you'll come across, because I learned a long time ago, some of the shit you just let get to you ain't worth fighting the war over.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure, for sure. What do you... Hold on. Okay. Let me see how I want to word this. What's some advice you can give an upcoming artist that's kind of struggling with learning this music industry?
Well, don't try to copy off other people's homework. And I don't mean that by saying don't try to be like the next person. Be inspired. But it's your own journey to try to traverse through, right? You can't expect your results to be like the next person, because they doing it. They probably did it longer than you, and you got to understand that notion, that fan base, that acclaim that person gets is only because they put in the work. A lot of people have that go to the gym mentality by the first day. As soon as they think they lifting weights, they expecting them to be goddamn Arnold Schwarzenegger tomorrow. You feel me? And when you kind of remove yourself from that notion of knowing goddamn reach one, teach one, it will make you, it will help you focus on what you want to make. Like, see, for me, I erased everything from my previous music. I didn't erase my music, but like followers and everything like that. I got rid of the bots. I got rid of the people that was just there for no reason. Like I legitimately now started from scratch. That's why the following numbers are low, because everything I'm bringing up is organic. Everybody that's coming around me is here for a reason.
Right.
So I'd rather them 100 and something than that 500 and something where they probably just link in bio type page or some shit like that, right?
Right.
Everybody who follow me now, I talk to them. But in my youth, I'm looking at my peers and other people around, and it's like being a hooper. Like, nigga, I know I'm nice.
Right.
How the fuck they starting?
Oh, definitely.
But at the same time, goddamn, I had to learn. There's 30 teams in the NBA. Goddamn, you can be cool being the sixth man somewhere else, but there's a coach probably watching you for the whole season. They're gonna probably offer you quality minutes once you get into free agency. You see, and that's where that's where my mindset is right now. This is free agency. It's like I got a whole new opportunity to be a shooting guard somewhere else. It's like Monte Ellis in goddamn Milwaukee.
What's one of your dream collaborations?
With an artist or just anybody?
With an artist.
Because I want to do a whole tape with the Alchemist. Like, I've been preaching that shit for the longest.
From New York?
You know, Alchemist from California, but yeah, that same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a name you don't really hear often coming
man.
from a southern artist that wants to work with. You feel me?
Like that's most of my music is East Coast inspired. You know,
Okay.
Because like my birthday is the same day Only Built from Cuban Links came out with Raekwon.
Okay then.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That same day, a year later, AT Aliens from Outkast. So you gotta think about.
That was a beautiful time in music.
Beautiful time in music. Reasonable Doubt. You had a lot of albums. Like, I'm 35. So keep in mind, I have a middle child mentality of what hip hop is. Like, I sit right there in the middle. I can pull off listening to some Crash Out Baby Kill music. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm still listening to, Wood Will by UGK.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
I grew up on Swisher House, Color Change the Click. It's Scarface, My Balls and My Word, The Fix, Ghetto Boys. I'm a fan of hip hop as a whole. Like, I didn't want to kind of be boxed as one type of artist. You get what I'm saying? Because as a student, you want to kind of change your style, your approach on different things, because you never know who you collab with. But
right.
As an MC, I really got in my bag when I started like really listening to like Lupe Fiasco and the Clips and the AZs and the Nas's of the world, like really listening to it, not just knowing the word for word and just saying it for what it is and not gathering the understanding from it.
Right.
But Mobb Deep, first group that ever kind of put me on the Alchemist as a rapper, and then coming down realizing that he was a producer, that kind of just was like it cut the cake.
Yeah.
But you gotta respect people like your Currencies and your Covert Coops, your Freddie Gibbs and your Fetty, Domo Genesis and No Idols. Like, that nigga cold, man. Alchemist is like literally, if not top 3 relevant producers right now, and he ain't 2 or 3 to me. Now, in that genre of rap,
right.
I'm just saying you gotta respect that for what it is. Like, I ain't trying to be closed minded, but yeah, motherfucker Alchemist.
Oh, definitely. And let us know what's next for you, man.
Oh man, The Essentials Volume 2, brother. That is, I'm working exclusively with a producer from Norway by the name of Thomas Bergkamp. Okay. So that's who did Metal Leaf Petals, and that's who did Monday Night Wars. The tape, instrumental wise, is finished. I'm just wanting to make sure that I got the right approach with it, and it should possibly be out. I'm gonna try to do it around Thanksgiving. Go ahead and get it knocked out. Try to. Don't put no word to it, but I'm the type of person that I'll be complacent with it, and then I might hear a new beat that he finished with, and I'm like, well, shit. Goddamn, it's like you can't put too much, but you don't want to do too much. So that's what that is. But Volume 2 is what's next. Like I said, you've seen the most recent run, drop of videos between here and there, showing that productivity and relativity. Tango and Cash potentially might be a whole tape. Might be. You know, that's we discussed it. It ain't set in stone. But once we kind of get that time to sit down and do that, we might make a little 6-track tape just specifically seeing what we do on each other beats.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah, man, that's
shout out TJ, man.
I'm a motherfucking nigga, man. That's literally. I'm Triple H, he's Shawn Michaels. That's exactly how we at. The nigga that just be probably chill on the low, and he the one that's gonna talk shit to you. You know, that's my dog. Real nigga, man. You don't find too many people that solid like that.
For
Sure.
Man, let the people know where they can follow you at, man.
Oh man, Trey Folk everything. TRE_4LK. Pretty much Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Trey Vega. You gonna come through that, man. You ain't finna get nothing extravagant. You just gonna see a nigga minding his business, probably talk a little shit about sports. Between dropping music, man. That's all I am, is your average nigga, man, just dropping a few bars here and go between. But social media wise, everything Trey Folk, you'll find me linking pretty much everything. Look out for that Essentials Volume 2. It's gonna be the best thing since Slice.
For sure. Celebrity Crush.
Shit, man. Right now, oh man. Back in the day, god damn. Can't even tell you shit. Alexis Parker, I think that's Alexis Fields. Yeah. She used to be on like Moesha and shit.
Yeah.
She was the light skin one that kind of had the slanted eyes. She was always like the bitch. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You weren't supposed to like her.
Yeah, but you ended up liking her.
Man, she's still some motherfucking fan to this day. Like, look, yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of how I feel about Erykah Badu.
See, look, let me tell you something, bro. I ain't finna let that voodoo fuck with me, bro. look, man. It's Erykah Badu to me is like one of them look, don't touch females, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably, you know what I'm saying, you out this bitch singing Louis Armstrong by the time you dive in that motherfucker. You come out this bitch with a dashiki and a fucking kufi. You know what I'm saying? Trying to sell me bean pies, goddamn. Damn. And fuck. Yeah, Badu, she's something else, man. But you gotta think about all the niggas who done talked to her. And I feel like I shouldn't even be saying this much, because, she gonna come after me. Not even, shit, I might wake up, goddamn, 2 sizes too small or some shit. She goddamn, I love Erykah Wright, man. That's, I used to live in Texas, so they talk about her like she the queen, like really living in Dallas.
Yeah.
How people in Houston probably would talk about Beyonce. Erykah Badu got that same type of motion in Dallas. Like, if you even hear somebody mention Erykah Badu name, you're gonna have a plethora of people coming up at you.
Yeah.
Talking about what you say about it. Like, you don't know who related to them, but nah. Erykah Badu, lovely, beautiful woman. I understand why 3 Stacks did what he did. My God.
Oh, David, man. I'd like to appreciate you sitting down with us, man.
Man, appreciate
it.
Your
schedule busy as hell, man.
Man, look, it's on a Sunday, daylight savings time. I'm still trying to adjust to it. I got jet lag right now, though. But we all right.
Oh,
I appreciate y'all, man, bringing me through here. You know, don't hold me for almost fucking up this chair.
Yeah, you good, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, y'all be good, man. Appreciate it. We gonna see each other in the win. This ain't the last time.
Oh, definitely.
For sure, man. Y'all be good. And of course, righteous.
Oh, definitely.
Hey, this your boy Vibe Fish Game, man. You already know I'm tapped in with Sticky TV. You ain't plugged in, you need to get plugged in. Stop playing.